It's time for Cup of Rad, so let's fill your cup with rad pop culture vibes. And now your over-caffeinated hosts, Mike and Katie. Hey kids, it's Mike from Cup of Rad with...
Katie.
That's right, we're coming into your ear holes for a fantastic 2019. Guess what? We're going to the backpack of it all. It's 2019 again. That's right, it's not 2020 anymore. It's 2019. Every movie you're going to hear about came from 2019 because, unfortunately, we're parents. And you know what that means? We don't get to go to every movie that we want to see, so we got to backtrack a bit. So these are fun, fantastic reviews based on movies from the past.
I totally thought you made an error, which is hilarious. And I was like waiting for you to backtrack on that one. No, you were just like full speed ahead and I know what's going on. Good job.
I could see your eyes. You were just like, no, stop.
What have you done?
Why aren't you stopping? It's 2020, you fool.
Yes, it is. A few weeks into it.
But that's right. It's movies that we missed. We'll probably do a few of these over the times. Catch up our reviews. Sometimes we like to just throw it at you and see what you think.
Well, you know, it is difficult, as you say, for us to actually watch some of these movies. Mm-hmm. Like, even the last few weeks here, we've been able to watch some things. And it's, like, so refreshing.
Yeah. So, well, there's also, too, as though we live in a smaller town, so we don't get all the movies all the time. And sometimes when we do get the movies, they come out at weird times that we can't get to.
Yeah, like, let's play a,
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock movie on a weekday only. Yeah, that helps.
One day a week.
Yeah.
Or a 9:30
awesome.
1 day a week. So, it makes it very difficult to plan. So, unfortunately, so that's what we're doing. We're coming at you with some ones that we missed.
2019 movie reviews.
And that's fun, because you might not have seen all of these, or you've been waiting to find out, what did Cup of Rad think of those? Why haven't they reviewed it? Well, guess what? We're going to answer your question today.
So what's up first on our list?
We are going to dive into Midsommar. So Midsommar, it's a bleak, artistic horror movie-esque drama thriller.
It's not bleak, it's bright.
But it is bleak. The subject matter is bleak.
It is. But
it's not your traditional...
It's oddly, like, unnerving, but you don't know why, and you keep wanting to hope that it's not unnerving. And then things keep happening. You're like, wait, nope, the weirdness is real.
So let's give you a quick breakdown of the movie, because you may or may not have seen it. If you've seen it, then you already know the problem. But if you don't know it, then here's a quick plot synopsis. The idea that a bunch of friends decide to head over to Scandinavia area to experience a Midsummer festival.
Well, yeah, one of their friends, like an exchange student, invites them to his home community to celebrate this, once-in-a-lifetime celebration.
Exactly. And they bring the one dude's girlfriend who is going through problems because her sister has killed herself and her family. Dun, dun, dun. And
their relationship is on the rocks anyway, yeah. And it's all about that, right?
So there you go. So and then stuff happens. Insanity ensues. Blood, guts, gore. So thrills, chills, screams, and gore. And it is actually gory. In the few scenes that there's
a few where like,
it's a little over the top gory. It's from the director of Hereditary. We never talked about Hereditary. All I think we said was that it was okay. We laughed. Actually, we laughed in the Hereditary because we thought it was a little hokey.
No, I think I kind of blocked it from my mind.
Yeah. So it was one of those movies where I wasn't necessarily super excited to see it because it was from the director, but then the more I saw about it, the more I was like, okay, it looks a little different.
Yeah.
We're going to get into it. And then...
Well, it is kind of the weirdness of that it is so bright, because part of where it is, too, they have barely any darkness, too, right? So lots of sunlight and everything. And it was kind of a strange concept that it was the weirdness. It's such an opposite. That a horror movie takes place in daylight.
In pure brightness. Yeah. So and it was gruesome. It has very horrific events that happened.
Yeah.
That were hard to watch
very
because it was very shocking.
And
right?
it was very uncomfortable.
One thing though I can say just from where I am in my schooling, the view of bipolar doesn't really fit with what I've learned.
Yeah.
And with looking that up, I found that was one of the complaints from mental health organizations that
it doesn't paint it correctly.
It should be more of a schizophrenic kind of idea.
Yeah.
So
they just picked the wrong one. If they just changed the label to it, then it would have been fine.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So there's my educated moment for y'all.
You know what? Overall, I enjoyed it. but I think it could have been better after watching it. We looked up that there was a lot of deleted scenes.
The director's cut.
They should have released the director's cut as a choice. And I think it would have brought a lot to the story, because reading those deleted scenes, you're like, oh, that would have made so much more sense. And it would have just those extra bit of details that would have given substance to the story itself, right?
A lot was cut for time just to fit into the little producer
they kept
box.
all the shock value aspects, but a lot of that substance that made them more meaningful and gave the analogy of the story were missing then. And I think you would have cared more about the characters if you had seen some of those scenes.
Yeah. Now, I do sound like I'm saying complaining about the movie, but as a whole, it was an interesting film to watch because it is very artsy and very interesting to see. I enjoyed it much more than Hereditary.
Yeah.
Which does make me curious to see where this director will go going forward. Would I recommend it? If you feel like being depressed, go for it.
Yeah, it is nothing feel good about it at all.
It doesn't necessarily bring a lot to the ballpark of like enlightenment after, because it doesn't really go anywhere. And the more and more you talk to me about the deleted scenes, I was like, damn, I wish that was the cut that we had seen.
Yeah.
I wish we had seen the director's cut, because there was so much that was missing from the film that made you dislike or like someone that you should have or shouldn't have liked, right?
Exactly.
Like, or felt for, right? So I think they missed the mark on that, especially then they released a cut that was just the basic theatrical cut instead of actually having the directors. So, but definitely was worth watching.
It was at least worth watching it. At least I would at least recommend forming your own opinion on it and seeing what you like. But just be forewarned that there's a lot of shock into it.
Yeah,
right?
and if you're into more of the artsy horror,
yes,
it's not so much of the standard slasher or monster or all that. It's
because at the end
it's not necessarily even a thinking horror film. No. It's just a slow pace, slow burn.
Well,
kind of
at the end
melodic.
It was like, huh, okay,
yeah.
Well, there's that. I'm just going to unpack that for a little while here, you know?
Yep.
So there you go.
So Midsommar, something to look at if you're looking for a bright, shiny horror movie that is bleak and depressing.
Yeah, who knew you needed that?
Right?
Second one up.
Crawl. That's right. So this was one that I was curious to see. It was done by the guy that made the remake of The Hills Have Eyes and produced by Sam Raimi of Evil Dead and all that. So trailers and all that I was looking at, I was like, okay, well, what how is it? And I was like, this is going to be a corn fest. Like,
I just thought it was going to be Sharknado.
Right?
That's all I thought of. I was like, yeah, it's going to be stupid big alligators in a storm, and it's going to be just stupid, right?
So basically the idea is that there is a hurricane coming, and the girl's father is missing, so she goes and looks for him, and he's injured in the crawl space basement, and she goes to save him, and there's gators! There's gators everywhere! They're coming at you! Snappy, snap, snap! And the whole movie takes place
what is with the voices and everything? Okay, sorry, go for
it. It all takes place in a crawl space. And because, crawl, right? You're crawling. And the hurricane's coming, and there's water and everything's at you, and they're all like, oh no, the gators are trying to eat me. And and there's more gators, and you're seeing people in the distance getting popped off by gators because
they're ginormous.
Giant gators are in this Florida key.
Did they ever talk about why they're ginormous gators?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
No, because they're massive gators.
Okay.
I remember. So here's a fun fact. I did go on a gator tour when we were in New Orleans, and in the swamps and all that. We went, and even the gentleman that was doing it, he was like, "That there's a big gator. That there in the water. That's a big gator." And it was not nearly the size of what these ones were.
No, those ones were like prehistoric size
right?
gators.
So on a fun fact, it was not gators in a hurricane. It was actually a pretty good movie for what it was, and it had some pretty good scares for a survival horror movie.
Well, I mean, I was watching it, I was multitasking. And the bits and pieces I saw, like, there was actually, like, you cared about the characters to it.
Yeah, I know.
Like, actually were, like, people involved in it. It wasn't just random fodder.
Yeah. It was, you had your one horrific scene, and besides that, it was, the people that got bit kind of deserved it, and then the people that, there was a couple times where you're like, dude, you totally deserved that because you were being stupid. You literally almost got attacked by a gator and you still leaned over.
Yeah, right? I mean,
so you basically said...
survival of the fittest right there.
Right! So, but yeah, it was a fun movie. It was ridiculous.
It was a surprising enjoyment for you.
Yeah,
right?
you know, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and it's gonna be kind of corny and blah blah blah. And you're like, no, actually, yeah, like okay, I'm digging this.
Nice.
Even when you know the water was getting to the rooftop and the gators were coming through windows and stuff like that, it was just like,
it was still fun, right?
Yeah.
Nice. And now it is time for
TEE. Titans Go. That's right. Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. That's right. We did 2 hard R movies, and now we're going kidified. That's right. In your ear holes with a silly direct-to-video movie.
What else would you expect from Cup of Rad? I mean, this is our world, right?
This is who we are. This is me now. So Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. This one here was teased at the end of Teen Titans Go to the movies, the one that actually went to the theater. This one did not go to the theaters. It was a direct-to-video, and it basically was the idea. The whole premise is that they're trying to bring back the original Teen Titan cartoon that they canned for the Teen Titans Go, because there's like this giant like feud within the Teen Titans fandom of which is better and blah, blah, blah.
They are such different categories. You can't.
One is Looney Tunes and one is anime.
Right? Like they're so different.
So it's just sort of like, just enjoy what you enjoy and just like it. Don't, you know, they even rail on themselves.
Yeah. Well, I love that they're both voiced by the same people. Like it's great,
I think that's what makes it fantastic.
So, but yeah, with this, they're, you know, basically the dimensions are being pulled in from different things, and it's Trigon.
Because you know what's hot right now? Multiverses.
Multiverses are totally the thing right now. So you know,
everyone's doing a multiverse. You know, like everywhere. That's all it is multiverse.
Yep.
You know, they teased it with Spider-Man, and then they're doing it with Doc Strange, and now they had the crossover on CW, and now
that's the only way to make fans happy,
right?
Is it's okay for the Teen Titans to go in the Teen Titans. They both exist in different multiverses, and that is what we have learned. Is there's an obscene amount of multiverses in the Teen Titans world.
There is. There's even one with the starfish.
Yes,
and pirates.
Everyone's animals. Okay, we're just gonna sit here and laugh about this. So, well, obviously, did we enjoy it? Because we sound like we're pretty upbeat about it.
So, Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans was a fantastic film because it is actually better than the actual Teen Titans Go cartoon that airs on television.
Yes.
We've been watching Teen Titans Go, and even Kiddo has been kind of like, man, this show is getting mean and cruel, and I'm not enjoying it as much. So when we got to rent,
I was a little
worried. But it was hilarious, and we were all laughing, and there's a lot of fun in it, especially all the multiverse stuff.
Yes. Well, all the weird random things, because when you do add the idea of a multiverse, they can be anything. And Cyborg decides that there is weird multiverses of like them all being animals, sort of thing. And there are animal. There are mermaids at one point.
There's
too.
Mermaids.
There was a universe of mermaids.
There's the classic. There's the comic version and the Super Friends version. And the comic version doesn't speak. Word bubbles pop up.
Right.
And they're all very static moving. So there's a lot of fun with it. It's definitely a ridiculous thing because it pokes fun of comics and comic superhero movies and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely has its niche. And you just sit back and relax and enjoy it because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they did a good job of not saying one was better than the other. Yeah. Honestly, they all end up
learning from each other in some form, right?
And, you know, because they both still thought that they both railed on Robin on their own versions,
the
right?
Teen Titans Go Robin.
Yes. And so I think it was actually really enjoyable that they weren't. It was cool they didn't pick one. Yeah, you know, it wasn't like we're gonna decide between them. It's like they all have. But they all unanimously
agreed.
Unanimously agreed.
Yes, that the New 52 Nightwing was the hunkiest.
Yes.
He is with the hunkiness.
Yes, that was hilarious. I like the different versions of Trigon.
Yeah,
within there for sure. So, the Teen Titans Go one is hilarious. He's just so adorable.
He's the dad next door.
Yeah,
honey, I'm here with cookies.
So yeah, it was super fun. But I mean, it's a market in itself. If you have to like one of those at least. If you like one of them, you should at least watch the movie. You're gonna get a kick
out of it
for sure.
So we decided to ask Kiddo because what he thought. He loved the multiverse and thought it was hilarious.
Especially, I'm sure the ones that Cyborg had posted about the animals and the
starfish. He says he would highly recommend it, and he gave it a 4.5 out of 5 It's a pretty high recommendation.
Yeah.
So if you got kids that enjoy zany cartoons, and yourself maybe you enjoyed a zany cartoon, Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans.
There you go.
Might be up your alley. Titans Go!
And next up on our list of movies,
RADnesia! For Mike only.
Now, this was not a 2019 movie.
No, because we're bringing back RADnesia this year.
2020 RADnesia.
For Mike only.
Yes. There's actually a lot of those, actually, because it's like, oh, yeah, you've seen this. I knew about it. I've seen bits and pieces. Could I have told you anything about it? No. We digging into Disney Plus.
All for one and one for all.
So, funny enough, that song, like, really irritated Kiddo at the end. He's like, I have to turn this off. What is this?
Every step you take,
okay.
I'll be the...
Yep.
It wouldn't be Cup of Rat if Mike didn't sing. That's why people listen to hear my annoying voice sing.
Please let me know
It's
the reality
all the
if he believes that or not.
you want. Have you guessed the movie yet?
Probably not.
Shout it out loud.
So we were...
Probably not. Sorry, go ahead. I'll just sip my tea over here.
So we were digging into Disney Plus and trying to find other movies that maybe we hadn't seen, because Kiddo's just been wanting to watch the Imagineering story, so we wanted to watch some actual movies. And we came across the Three Musketeers, and we thought that would be something that he might like to enjoy. So he had never seen it, and I don't remember if I ever fully saw it through. So
let me paint the stage. Katie, what do you want to watch? I don't know. Pick two movies. Me and Kiddo scouring through Disney Plus. He was very certain that tonight we're going to watch something on Disney Plus. I was like, what about Netflix? No, Disney Plus. It's already on. Okay. So we're looking through. Katie comes home. I say, what do you want to watch? What genre do you want? Anything but a documentary and nothing with subtitles. Because we've been watching a lot of My Hero Academia on Crunchyroll and Sentai
or Sailor
Moon. So lots of subtitles in the last week at our home.
And then
documentaries with the Imagineering story. And he's been pushing to watch that one day Disney stuff.
Yeah.
So we're digging through, and then it was like, okay, well, then he started picking some animation, and we're like, okay, I think Katie really wants to watch something with real people in it.
Right?
So then when she came home, and I was like, here's the controller. And she's like, we're watching this.
It's like, I'm not going to think. This is a real action, actors, everything. We're watching this. It'll be good.
So on our RADnesia
culture and everything, right?
There's culture in this.
There's culture. It's a classic novel.
This is basically like their test run for Pirates of the Caribbean, and it only took like 20 years after that for them to make it.
Most importantly, there's Tim Curry in it, okay?
That's why we watched it.
That's why I wasn't excited about it. Because I've realized that Tim Curry will always, no matter what character he plays, I always will think of Frankenfurter. Because he fascinates me with how quickly he can pivot from, I am so nice, to I will gut you
like a fish.
I know, thank you. I was hoping you'd finish that for me. You're super rage, and then I'm so sweet, and he's like the perfect conniving manipulator actor. Like that is his.
That's why he played so many villains.
Yes, right? And it's just so wonderful. So the one scene,
his mouth is so huge.
It is, right? Oh my goodness. So the one scene where he's hitting on the queen. Like super inappropriate moments of this. Oh my goodness. And Kiddo leans over and he's like, that guy is really creepy. I was like, well, at least you got the right vibe. It wasn't like, oh wow, that's awesome.
Go Cardinal. Did. He totally hit that.
Right? So that was a good thing. He got a really good sense of comprehension about the story, which was nice, that he got the sense that something was wrong. And it was funny at one point, the Cardinal's saying about, he's speaking something that is not actually him, that's not the truth. And Kiddo starts going off, that's not about them. You want all the power. You want all the money. He's just like losing it on him, which was really funny. So
yeah, it was interesting to watch it again because I always just remember the silliness. I didn't remember a lot of the darkness that started it. And even when we started the watching...
The torture chamber?
The kid was looking at this thing. He was like, guys, this seems a little dark for me. Like, what's going on right now?
It's on Disney Plus.
It's It's a PG. We're fine. But the amount, you look at that movie now and you look at the amount of sexual innuendos that are
there was a lot of sex in there.
Wow. No, it's just like, it just kept going. It was like, bam, bam, bam. I'm like,
where are my clothes? Yeah. Why do you need clothes? Oh my gosh.
It was just, a different time in the 90s.
Yes.
Way back in the 90s, dude.
We're like more free, apparently.
Yeah, like totally more free about everything and sexual harassment and...
Right? But it's a classic novel, so it's okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that in the novel, though, when I read that.
It probably was there.
Yeah, maybe.
It was just more,
more eloquently put.
Yes. You didn't realize
Doth taketh its closes from the forthest of the fortnight of the forthest.
Why does Dumas write like Shakespeare? No.
Well, I couldn't think of how he wrote. Okay, maybe I'm just a Dumas.
Nice.
Okay?
Nice.
Jeez.
Nice ploy.
Yeah. Ploy. Pun?
Something? What have you done to me? You broke me.
And that is... RADnesia.
For Mike only.
For Mike only. We talked to Kiddo, and Kiddo thought it was interesting and dark. He only gave it a 3 out of 5, but he does recommend it.
Yes.
So there you go. Disney Plus, 3 Musketeers. We actually put a lot on our watch list on Disney Plus, and here I was going through finding things that I remember watching and being like, oh, this was funny. And one thing I do wish Disney Plus would have more trailers. They have clips, and it's kind of
which
weird.
Are horrible.
Well, they're weird placement because like you don't really get a sense of things,
You're
right?
just gonna pick 30 seconds of the movie and just see what happens.
Yeah.
What?
And sometimes it's the most boring part of the movie too.
Yeah.
You're
like this did not sell it to me at all.
Right. And one movie I remember watching and laughing at a lot because it was just stupid was George of the Jungle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good movie.
But it's stupid humor.
So I'm thinking, he's a kid.
You would assume.
He likes stupid humor. Teen Titans Go. And I was like, hey, dude, check this out. Should we put this on watch list? No. This is ridiculous looking.
He was like angry about it.
Very angry. So then we go ahead and we're flipping through and he's like, whoa. What's this thing? It says the cat from outer space. Let's watch that. Let's watch the clip for that. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, right? And cat hops on a motorbike and the guy's like, we gotta get out of here. And he's like, that's right, we do. The cat's mouth doesn't move or anything. It's just like telepathy to the human. And they're driving on the motorbike and the motorbike starts flying as the soldiers like shooting
E.T. moment
up over the fence. And Kiddo stops and goes, put that on the list. I have to watch it.
Yeah. So keep this in mind when we talk about his grading scale.
Basically, and then anything that had a cat on it, he was like, "Can I see the clip for that?"
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, next up.
So with that though, there was a movie that came out on Disney Plus that I had been really wanting to watch. And I had shown you guys a trailer, and I was like, this is a Disney Plus original. I really am interested in watching this. Can we try to figure out this? And I was getting vetoed.
I was interested in wanting to watch it, but Kiddo was like, no, we have not finished Imagineering Story. Yeah. We're not watching anything else. We finally decided we're putting it on. You want to watch it? Yeah. Fine. If he's not...
But he's like, he has this hate on for dogs because we have cats. Right. So it was Togo, the one with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
The one about the sled dogs, right? That was trying to save those kids with the serum and all that. And so we finally decided, like, no, we're going to do this. We're just going to watch it. You can go to your room if you don't want to watch it. Like that's...
So no surprise, he stayed on the couch.
Yeah. So he watched it with us. So we're going to roll right into Disney Plus's original Togo. So Togo is the story of the sled dog Togo.
Yes.
It's the untold story.
So we didn't realize it, that it was, we all grew up learning about Balto and this historic run for this. Well, this is actually everything leading up to the majority of what happened before that run. Balto was the one that actually brought the serum back into the actual city, but he ran
only did a quarter of
it was like 31 miles of these. So there's 20 sled dog teams that did this relay in total. 19 of those teams, it said, ran 31
approximately
miles.
30 miles.
Togo and his team ran 264.
Yeah.
So it is definitely the hero of this run was Togo and their team. And so it was a really interesting slice of history for sure.
Because everything is about Balto. Balto has an animated movie. Balto has a statue.
A statue in Central Park.
He was the hero because he was the lead dog, and it showed two in the movie. Though it shows that there was two lead dogs,
but Fox was the other one.
Too normal
like,
of a name.
Well, it's just everyone's gonna think it's a fox. So Balto sounds interesting. Yeah. So it was an interesting
commentary.
You see commentary on the marketing where they needed to put someone out there. Yeah. Because Togo wasn't available at the time. Right?
Yeah. So Togo stars Willem Dafoe, and it starts our Willem Dafoe double feature.
Yes.
So that it was interesting. It was really well acted. It was very well shot.
Well, I really loved the shots for the. Really helped with the suspense and the unnerving aspect. I think it was beautiful flowing shots, a lot of good movement where it needed to be, and the fades were fantastic for it.
Because they tell the story as the run is going on, and then they cut back to as he's dealing with Togo.
Yeah, so
training.
It's a 12-year flashback of him, of how it became, because it starts out with that cliffhanger of like, he's the best dog in the world. Yeah. And then it goes all the way back to the beginning, and you find out that it was a very rough go at the very beginning. Yeah. And he was a runt. He didn't want anything to do with him. Yeah. And to see that switch and how it grew was really impressive, right?
So it was a fantastic movie, and if you've got Disney Plus, it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, it was emotional and it was inspirational, and it was beautifully shot, and suspenseful, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a surprise because that is the quality of what they're going to do for their originals. Yeah, it was really good. So definitely check out Togo. I won't say much more because you got to watch it and see.
And Kiddo really did end up enjoying it.
He did. He found it. He was laughing. He was enjoying it. He was really invested in the story.
Yeah. He was very angry about the fact that
he was very
historically inaccurate for Balto. He was like furious about this. He's like, they should take down his statue. I'm like, oh my goodness, Kiddo. Like, it's okay. The more we can just learn about that's what's needed, right? And but he actually ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 as well.
4.5.
4.5. Sorry, I blended those all together. Yeah. 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah. He was,
So he needs to listen and trust us sometimes and not get so caught up on wanting to watch something else.
But yeah, so check that one out. As we said, we did a Willem Dafoe double feature.
Yes.
It was our late night double feature picture show.
Which we've been singing now. Like every single time. We've been singing that all night and all day today. Anyway,
So if you know, there was a movie that came out last year, one that I was very excited to see.
Yes.
From the director of The Witch, The Lighthouse.
Yes.
Which starred Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. Mm-hmm. So the movie is basically the idea of a man that joins a maintenance team on a lighthouse.
It was the 1890s.
Yeah. And the madness it assumes from being stuck in a storm.
Yeah, so they're just the two of them there. They're supposed to be out there for 4 weeks, and it turns into longer and undetermined, not really clear amount of time. Mm-hmm. And the insanity that ensues from having to be like that, and then dealing with someone who you have this more senior, long-standing lighthouse keeper, and then you have this new maintenance guy, and the Willem Dafoe plays the existing lighthouse keeper, mm-hmm. and he's a little like crazy sea captain.
Yeah, he basically feels like this is like he used to be a sea captain and now he's stuck on land.
Yeah,
he
like
treats the cabin like it's a boat
that he's in charge of, and I reign supreme, and he's a little off his nut, right?
And he keeps forcing the Pattinson character to try to drink.
Yes.
And the water that comes through the pipes is not the cleanest.
Yeah.
So
he's basically, that's how he gets them eventually onto it, is that, well, the water's, which I think that's part of the issue with sailors too. They drink too because
the water
stays, right? Yep. And so this was a really interesting look into madness.
It was a trip. It's black and white. It's shot in 4:3.
Yes, and I loved that. It was so cool because it really looked like I was watching a really old like movie? 1930s movie.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for the fuzz and the like echoey play feel.
Waiting for the cops to come?
But oh, that was weird. And there is 3 people credited in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was really interesting. It was like a weird little play. Yeah. And the 4:3 aspect really narrowed your vision. It helped with the mood of it.
You
know, it could zoom in on them, and it was just like, wow, this is all I can see. And but there was a few moments where I'm like, what the hell have we gotten ourselves into? Right?
It was a beautiful art film.
Yes.
From start to finish.
And I actually enjoyed it like even more when I talk about it, and afterwards we were talking about it, I was like, I just enjoyment of it keeps getting more because
it's just so weird.
Yeah. And then so if you,
and it is vulgar.
It is.
It has
there's some really like, oh my God, that made me really uncomfortable. Yeah. And some violence in there that's a little shocking for sure. And some weird things. And when I was in high school, I used to love reading the books and more of the classic literature feel and finding the symbolism. Like it was a really big thing for me. And with this, finding the symbolism in it and all the different layers, the director had said that he was inspired by Lovecraft. You had pointed that out. Also some Greek mythology as well. And so when you know those types of things and you can pinpoint, he was kind of creating his own Greek mythology story with a Lovecraft spin on it. And you can find the symbolism between those two different things, between the characters and the settings and then everything. It was just, it made me super excited.
What was interesting too, though, just on my own, even knowing all that, but just watching the movie, seeing that it even plays out very similar to what we talk about in today's society, where a generation believes that they should just be given the highest job.
Yes.
Right? That overprivilegedness of like, well, I'm here, I worked, why aren't I a manager yet?
Yes.
Right? And it even spoke on that level, which I thought was really interesting.
And you know what? Another one we noticed was that there was monologues.
There was full-on monologues.
And it wasn't...
He didn't blink at all in that one monologue.
I know. And it was like, he was cursing him, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, that was intense. And that was really good acting on both of their parts.
Yeah,
like beautiful monologues.
Impeccable.
And then you realize how much you don't see them anymore. Because I remember when you went to school and you had to do a monologue for class and you had like things to choose from.
Yeah.
And now it's like, wait a second. Like you have to still go back to those like way back when for monologues. And I thought that was really interesting. Like I didn't realize how much it was not around anymore.
Yeah, it is pure cinema. Like it was a beautifully strange art film, and it was a delight to watch.
You know what? It actually, normally we don't watch dramas.
Yeah.
Again, this would be something that would probably be worth watching again, ironically.
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, speaking of that, I was going to buy it, and then we
decided, well, no, we never watch it. We're going to rent it. And but to see the different... the different ambiance behind things. And now now that you know the whole story, can I pick up something that it was trying to give as a foreshadow, you know, and go from there with it. Right. And, he even calls out specifically at one point about the fact that you want to be praised for existing.
Yeah.
And, so it's a long-standing thread of a storyline that is even applicable today. Yeah. Right. So I thought it was, I was surprised how much I really enjoyed it. I thought we could appreciate it for its art and film. But yeah, I'm like, no, I really...
See, like, this is one thing that I've been looking for. Like, last year I said to you, though, is like, there hasn't really been a movie that hit me that I was just like, that was a delight to watch because of the art behind it.
Because it was art,
I enjoyed Us to that point, especially with the placement of the music. The music in Us gave me a little bit of that feeling, but it wasn't enough of a push. We have our popcorn movies, our Marvel movies and things like that are just popcorn, right. and and I was waiting for that one, and like this literally falls in that category where it was like it wowed me because it was like cinema isn't dead with this.
Well, it was a refreshing change. You could feel that we've been missing that for sure, because it was like so different. And you're like, wait a second, it was different, but I really liked it. It wasn't just weird and quirky.
Yeah,
it wasn't quirky.
Yeah,
it was enjoyable for its own sake, but then you add the symbolism into it, and you're like, to me it's even more enjoyable, and that it almost comes across as a classic story then. And for myself, of what I enjoy, like a lot of the classic literature is that way. It should be good face value. It should also be good when you can dig into it and find something that would have mattered back then and mattered now and mattered in the future. And you can find something that speaks to a whole bunch of different people. And that's what a classic story should be. Yeah. So I was thoroughly blown away by it.
I was just like, this is something else. And, I enjoyed The Witch as well. So like, I'm on that boat of like a lot of people that like the dude that did Midsommar and Hereditary. I haven't really enjoyed his films. Yeah. But the dude that did Eggers that did these two, Witch and this one. This is my kind of like artsy, trippy horror. Yeah. Like this is what I like to see. It's quiet. It's melodic. There's some weird stuff that happens that you're just like,
what the?
Why is that dude moaning? And what's that fluid? And why is there a tentacle?
Yeah. He said that.
Yeah. Now you're interested. Now you're going to go find it. So yeah, watching that, and you're like...
sentences I never thought my husband would say.
Right? And it's just like... yeah, and there's mermaids, and just...
no, mermaid.
But... yeah, it was like watching art, and it's fantastic when you can find those movies again. Yeah. That's why I am excited. I'm hoping to be able to see Jojo Rabbit, because that one feels like it could be in that same art category, right? Yeah. Not as trippy as this, but you know what I mean?
Be more on a quirky level, I'm sure, for sure. But
so definitely
really
full on,
recommend this
if we're going to go back to changing my movie from our last podcast, the decade one, the Lighthouse is up there now. Like it's 2019.
It usurped us for sure.
Yeah, it's in there of like, yes.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Okay, so Oscar nominee time.
Yes.
Once Upon a Time, ...
in Hollywood.
So Quentin Tarantino's latest movie, the story of I can't remember the name of the
guy from Leonardo
DiCaprio. Basically plays a washed out actor, TV actor and all that. He is with a stuntman that's kind of his like gopher.
Yeah.
And
so this happens in 1969.
Yeah.
And it correlates right in place of the Manson murders. And so then it's that whole kind of change up in Hollywood. You have the hippie invasion, and
damn hippies,
right? And this change that started happening with the actors between more of the classic westerns, especially, and the movement and change in filming. And then you do have Sharon Tate in there as well, and Living on Hollywood Hills, and so it's a little bit of a slice of life of that time period itself.
Yeah, but it is 100% fictional.
Yeah, and so this was the movie I really wanted to see this because I love DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt has really grown on me. And we usually see Tarantino movies anyway and give it a chance. We usually like most of them too. And so this one...
I don't think that I've really been a big fan of was Jackie Brown.
Yeah, and so that we usually like them for sure, but it was a longer movie and it was just harder for us to try to get to the theater again for. And so I was really excited. We decided to go ahead and just buy it, just watch it. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a really well put together movie. It was very interesting. Well acted, well shot.
Very much so.
Definitely, being that we've only seen a few of the Oscar nominees this year, this being the one that we've seen, I would say it was well enough to be Best Picture.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I love, as you said, it's a fiction movie, and I think that's what's great about the title. All of a sudden gives you a different sense of it. It's his fairy tale version of the story.
What he hoped had happened.
Yeah, and so I think I really liked that it wasn't a historical version of it. Yeah. And I thought that was really impressive. And Brad Pitt's character was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, like
you kept waiting for other things to happen, and
there definitely is more to it there that they could have definitely gone on.
Yeah.
You didn't get as much of the Tarantino quippiness and conversations, which was surprising. You still got the Tarantino feet shots.
Which I had never known about, honestly. You pointed it out. Weird. And I was like,
but see, okay, I don't like feet. I don't like feet.
He's not a fan of feet. So then when he was pointing out, I'm like, why do you care? Why are you pointing this out?
That's one thing I don't like about Tarantino, because he's a foot dude.
Yeah.
So then...
And he keeps pointing, he's like, oh, there's a feet shot. And I'm like, what is with you pointing out the feet shot? I know you don't like feet, but whatever. And then it showed him again. I was like, he really likes feet. He's like, yes, I told you he likes feet. I did. And then I thought about Pulp Fiction too. And I was like, okay.
Kill Bill.
I can Kill Bill. It's about you. The only one I didn't like was Sharon Tate was in the theater and it showed her feet up on the thing and her feet were dirty and it really bothered me. Like, why are your feet so dirty?
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to be so dirty. And that actually really bothered me. But
yeah. So anyways, that came back. Yeah, no, it was interesting. Like, it didn't feel like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours long. Like, it really flew by really quickly, and which is a good measure for a movie of those lengths, to be able to see and be like, wow, this is, pretty good.
Yeah.
One thing I did when I was watching it though, I pointed out, I was like, this really feels more like a personal story almost on Tarantino's end. Mm-hmm. I almost wonder how much of him was written into DiCaprio's character.
I agree.
Because it's the idea, because he's had some movies fall through and he's had some movies that haven't done as well, the last couple ones, feeling like he's a man out of time. Mm-hmm. In an industry he loves.
Yes.
Right?
Where the world is no longer being receptive to his style of art that he wants, right? Yeah. And that he's being pushed into a box that people only see him as that.
Yeah. He's just the Pulp Fiction guy. Like, and just the Reservoir Dogs
he's
guy,
tried so hard to do different styles of things, and
the ones that do well or go back to that style of blood
of
and
movie.
Quick, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think there's got to be a personal story on that. The way it was written just really came across. There was a little, not too much, I would say, but it was very genuine emotion written.
Well, then I'd read the article after, too, and he was saying that basically this was one of his most personal stories. So then I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, well, there it is. It's perfect, right?
It has to be. But
and the more I talk about it, I really, really love Brad Pitt in it. Like, he's a super
even
badass.
Even though he's a wife murderer.
We don't know that. He's a slob and disgusting, but he's also barely paid, considering he has, very prolific Hollywood star employer. Yeah. But yeah.
I liked him for his abs.
the gratuitous
50-something-year-old man with that kind of physique is like, damn, I'm in the wrong business.
There's a number of those styles of actors though that I've never disliked him, but it's no different like Tom Cruise, that feeling that they've gotten better as they've gotten older. And I've my enjoyment of Brad Pitt has gotten just better as he's gotten older.
My problem with Brad Pitt has always been his movies are so damn long.
Right.
All of them. I was always saying, people oh, Brad Pitt's awesome. I'm like, no, I don't have time for
I don't have time for Brad Pitt.
2.5 hours of him just smiling at the camera. Meet Joe Black, literally, is 2 hours of him smiling at the camera.
You know what?
And every once in a while, Anthony Hopkins walks in and goes.
I remember I really wanted to watch that movie, and I was like, this is mind numbing. Oh my God, I can't do it.
Right?
It's just so bad.
So there's someone, he's just one of those actors that just, he likes long movies.
Yeah.
It's that's in his contract. It's don't hand me a script unless it's
at least 2.5 hours long.
Right? If it's under that,
I will make it longer somehow. I will find reasons that I need to take off my shirt to make it longer.
It's like Tom Cruise. Yeah. I have to be running.
Yes.
Every movie, I have to run.
Hey, you never know, right? I mean, that's okay. But yeah, overall, no, I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, it was a fantastic film. It is definitely.
I'm glad it wasn't a letdown by any means, because I so badly wanted to enjoy it because the style of it, the old Hollywood.
The old Hollywood is what drew me,
right? I'm immediately I wanted to see it for sure.
Yeah,
but I'm really happy that I really enjoyed it for sure with that. So
there we go.
We made it.
We made it through all of them.
All of them.
That's how it is.
Good stuff.
It's a fantastic time. There's our flashback to 2019 movies.
It's going to be another 6 months before we collect this many movies because TV's back and like all sorts of other things.
Nah, it'll happen quickly. We're working on things. We're working on a lot of things.
We're trying.
We got our tickets for Fan Expo, so that'll be exciting.
Because, well, why did we seal the deal?
Groovy. That's right. Bruce Campbell is coming to Vancouver.
I get this text. Katie, Bruce Campbell is going to be at Fan Expo. Like, I could hear him like saying it to me in the text, and I'm like, okay, I'm buying the tickets now.
This is my boomstick.
Right?
So I'm there. That's going to be my goal. There is also the voices of Goku and Vegeta are also going to be there, so that'll be exciting. Tom Welling, Superman, will be there.
Yeah.
And there are other ones there as well. So Christina Ricci will be there.
Yeah, that's actually quite a bit.
So, and there's still supposed to be some announcements coming, so that's exciting. So even though in the last episode we were like, we don't know if we're going, guess what? We're going, yay! So we'll have some fun there and get to see some cool things, and hopefully I will get the achievement of meeting Mr. Ash.
That's going to be our priority number one.
That's right.
Me and Kiddo will wander around the expo. You can stand in line there.
No, you got to be there because like that kind of
Oh, I gotta be the
represent
hot eye candy,
right? I'm the one there, but like, please, sir, sign this for me. Take a picture with you. It's like, that's all right, kid. You got a woman over there. Come here.
It's okay. Right? I'll get hit on by Bruce Campbell. I will take that.
I will take that sacrifice.
For you, my love.
There we go. As long as we get more time, be like, Mr. Campbell, I love you. You're my daddy.
Things got weird, man.
It got weird. It always gets weird. Right. So it's going to get a little weird, a little wild. You know what? Here's another thing I got to say is that the Owl House.
Yes.
So it's a new cartoon. We already talked about it last week, but I'm going to talk about it again. So it's getting attacked because apparently there are some groups out there, very, very Christian groups, not saying anything's wrong if you're religious and Christian, but they are groups that are saying that this show is trying to teach people how to be witches and summon demons, and it's horrible. It's not. It is hilarious. It is a kid's cartoon all about being yourself and realizing that maybe the world of fiction, you need to blend them together. Because the whole point of the last episode we watched, the girl so wants things to happen the way things happen in her novel that she makes some stupid choices.
She puts herself in danger and she risks everything because she wants a quest. Yeah, she wants it to be fiction.
She wants to be the chosen one.
And instead of being reality, she wants to be accepted. She wants to be special. She wants to have a purpose.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting concept that her friend, the actual witch, is like, if you sit around and wait for the world to give you a quest,
to tell you you're special,
you will wait forever.
Yeah.
You need to make your own life happen and make your own life special. The world will not tell you what is special about you.
Yeah, and I thought that was a great message.
Right? I mean, like, that is the number one thing that people need to be said. Because even for myself, like, growing up, I could have probably used that message at some point where it's like, oh, wait, no, I'm in charge of my own destiny.
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting.
And she says you have to work hard to get things.
Yeah.
Like, it was just,
you can't just be handed everything. And like, if you didn't worry so much about the subject matter, because it literally is not talking about Satan or evil or anything, like, it doesn't have to fly in the face of any religion at all.
It just shows that they're fans of fantasy and that kind of world.
A fantasy world, not an evil witchcraft world. And looked at the actual message for it. Yeah. It was so well said. I mean, it's been 2 episodes and they've been great stories and great lessons behind them. And definitely recommend it so far. I'm very excited to keep watching it.
Yeah. So it's totally worth it. Dana Terrence did a great job creating this world, and I'm very excited to see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
So the Owl House is highly check it out, especially if you got kids, right? So don't fall for the face value articles that are saying that it's, how to summon a demon.
Yeah.
But that's my soapbox rant for the day.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone that listens. We appreciate it, and stay rad.
Thanks for joining us and have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!